Hello, everyone, and welcome to Different Stages Radio. I'm your host, JJ, broadcasting from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And on today's show, you know my next guest from up-and-coming band Opeth, but you should really get to know him from his other band, White Stones, who just released their third album this past week in North America on Reigning Phoenix Music called Memoria Viva. Please welcome my guest, Martín Mendéz. How are you?
Hello, man. Thank you. I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for joining the show. It's a pleasure to have you, and I'm very excited about the new White Stones. It's nice to connect with you because we were just chatting briefly off air about how um, you know Opeth had done numerous signings at my store, Scrape Records, from years back. So it's nice to reconnect on a different level. And I have to say that when the first White Stones was getting ready to be released, and I saw that you were, the leader and the main attraction of said group. I'm like, well, I need to get on board with this. I know worst case it's going to be good.
Yeah.
You know, best case it's going to be phenomenal, and it was. So I've been really loving the growth with each record, and what I've heard so far of the new album is just brilliant. What can you tell people that maybe still haven't had a chance to get around to checking out White Stones?
Well, White Stones is that project as you named before that I have, and then I don't know. Think I just write music that I love. I don't have any boundaries, any limits when it comes to write this music, and I think you can almost hear it in at least in the new album. It's a lot of different styles in it, but still it's a heavy album. It's a death metal, experimental death metal album. And yeah, I'm really happy and excited to release this one.
Well, and I appreciate the space and dynamics on it, and I don't want to discredit it by saying it's just a death metal album because I feel it's much more than that. There's some real appreciation I find to the arrangements, and I really feel that you're in a rare breed these days. I find you as an individual that has a distinctive sound. Like when I hear you're playing, it's like I know who that is, and I feel that these days that's really hard for any musician or even a singer these days to really have an identity that way. So I can really feel your involvement in this, and I'm just wondering, is this something that you had percolating for a while, the whole White Stones idea, or was this something that came together just shortly before the first album?
Well, I always been writing music, and but I never had the discipline to put it together and record it properly, uh, as I did now with White Stones. But I don't know. As I said before, when I write music, I, I don't have any specific ideas where it will be as an album. But I always try to experiment and at least try to make some original music. Something that, yeah, that you can, as you say, you can hear is me playing. That makes me very, very happy for real. And that's pretty much the goal I have, to with this band to make some good and some kind of distinctive original music. That's the goal. I don't know if I can, reach every time the result, but that's the goal.
Well, and I think you succeeded this time around. Now, people should know too, though, that you don't just, I shouldn't say just, but you're not just playing bass on these albums. You're also playing guitar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that comfortable for you to play guitar? Or are you coming up with riffs to these songs through guitar? Or are you coming up with bass lines first, like more of a rhythmic thing first, and then riffs to follow?
I've been playing guitar for a long time, since my young days, so I feel very comfortable playing guitar. And this band in particular, it's always been the same process. I write all the music myself, and then I record all the guitars as well. Besides the guitar solos, I do all the melodies, all the rhythm guitars, and usually, a song can come up with. Usually, I kind of start with a guitar, but sometimes he start with a bass, sometimes with a drum beat. That's different, but mostly with a guitar. Yeah,
Nice. Now, is it pronounced Eloy, your singer, or
yeah, yeah. No, yes.
yeah? Did you guys know each other from years back? Did you search for him in the process of trying to form White Stones? How did that come together?
Oh, I knew him from. I know him from. I don't know, since almost 20 years ago. So he's a good friend of mine. By the time when I started this project, he was my neighbor, and then he kind of started up with his studio where I record all the three albums, and then it was pretty easy to ask him since he was there, to try out to sing. Because in the beginning, the idea wasn't really to release anything. I was just recording songs, and then the idea was me singing as well. Um, because I used to sing kind of like when I was 15, 16 years old, but it didn't feel well at all, when I try out. So he was there and said, come on, you should try it. And then everything started there, it felt really good with him singing the songs. And then I kind of like the sound that we had together, and then say, oh, well, let's do some more songs. And then the first album came up. So yeah, it was pretty easy and unexpected in a way, but yeah.
Things just started to fall in place very nicely. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
what people should know that's exciting, and I feel is extremely exciting for you with this record, is that it's all in Spanish.
Mm, that's
That's
correct.
that's a pretty big deal. Like, so I'll be blunt. Like, I'm not I'm not smart enough to know. I'm not multilingual, but I still love the music. And I'm going to ask
Yeah.
her to help me because she's reasonably aware of her Spanish, so she can help me out a bit. But I think it's incredible. Now, how does that feel for you? Like, does this really feel like you've now kind of jumped that next level?
Well, yeah, it feels good because this is an idea I had for a while ago in mind. I mean, on the second album we kind of try out to sing a few songs in Spanish, but it didn't work well. I wasn't happy with the results, so I kind of leave it in a way. So we kept with the English with the second album, but this time I really wanted to try harder. We put some more energy, and luckily we find out a way that's something good for our ears at least. So yeah, this is something I had in mind for a long time ago, and nothing in particular. I mean, my nature language is Spanish, so it's yeah, that was kind of easy, to try out. Yeah.
So probably much more natural for you in that respect to be able to write much more easily and freely, being able to write
Oh
in
yeah.
your native language. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't have to think so much.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Now, there's a cover track on the album that I guess perhaps most may not even realize. I didn't, so I'm not going to pretend that I did. Can you tell people about this? Because it seems that only until recently that I'm discovering that this is a really significant track.
Yeah.
Can you
Well,
tell people about it and its heritage, its background?
this is a Argentinian band. They started late 70s and they got like really big in late 80s and 90s. For me, when I was young, was one of the biggest bands that you could imagine that at the time, everybody listened to this band. And they have really special movement because they never been like in a major label or something, but every time they play, they almost didn't announce the gigs, and they fill up like a football stadiums, and lots of people go outside with a, it's a massive following for this band until today. And I don't know, it's kind of rock pop band, and they have this kind of political way in the lyrics, and it was massive back there. And this is something I grew up, So for me, this is like a very special song. That's something that, I really had in my youth, in my youngest days, as one of the the most important songs maybe back then, So it was really fun to actually have it in this record.
You hold it near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. Now, can you tell us about the other musicians that you have appearing on the album? So you said that you have somebody who comes and does the solos, and you also have some flute on the album, which is very
Yes.
cool. So are these just, do you put out a want ad or some classified ad looking for people, or do you already know these people and you're like, I want you to be on my album?
Well, the guitar player is the same as he did the guitar solos for the previous album as well. He moved to Portugal for a while ago, so he couldn't be in the studio. So he just sent me the solos over. But the rest, I mean, the drummer is the same as the last album as well. Um, but yes, this the appearance of the guy who plays flute. Uh, for real, I didn't know it was. I wasn't sure what I wanted for that song until yeah, I kind of met this guy. He's from my daughter's. He's the father he's a friend of my daughter in the school. So I know him from a long time ago, but I wasn't sure what kind of instrument I wanted in that song. I was pretty much looking for the trumpet at the beginning, kind of jazz trumpet sounding. But then suddenly I talked to him, I met him, and then I asked him if he want to try out, and then he was really, yeah, positive for it, and then he came up with this, and then yeah, I love it. So that was pretty much the story about the flute. And then I have Joaquin Svalberg, the keyboard player from Opeth, who helped me out with some Hammond organ and then some mellotrons for two songs. Yeah.
Perfect. Just bridging that gap yet again. Now,
Yeah.
the album is, as far as physical goes, I know it came out digitally in Europe in late June, I believe it was, but North America was just this past week on July 26th. And the vinyl comes out in a couple of weeks. Is that correct? I believe. I think it's first, second week of August, the vinyl comes out.
Yes, I think the vinyl is ready actually now, so it's gonna be shipped like next week. So yeah, so
And
next week you will have it if you like it. Yeah.
oh yes, oh yes. And now the eco-friendly. Tell people about that because I thought that was kind of neat. Are you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
About
was
really.
something new, but I was really happy when I got the question, to choose the
Yeah.
regular one or this one. It was of course
Yeah. So tell people about that because I think that's really cool.
yeah, it is, yeah, and they look very beautiful too. So yeah.
But each one is its own individual, and they're all made out of recycled. Is it
Yes.
products or albums, or how is it done? Like it's really neat. Like I don't fully understand the process, but it's essentially all recycled and refurbished materials,
Yes, pretty much. Yes, that's the idea. Yeah.
and it's just
Yeah,
the
that's good.
yeah. So we can look for that shipping hopefully this coming week. And then noticing that in late September, you're playing White Stones is playing two shows in Spain, correct?
No, because
No.
unfortunately,
Oh
no,
no,
because
no, no.
unfortunately, I had to cancel those shows.
Oh no.
It was one festival here in Barcelona,
Right. Okay.
but yeah, I mean, time-wise, it was very difficult to match it with Opeth rehearsals, and then we go into America for a tour in October.
That's what I thought. I'm like, this is pretty ambitious to
Yeah, it was,
pull it off.
but
Yeah.
that was booked for a long time ago, but then yeah, time came closer and then everything kind of crashes. So unfortunately I can't do it, but the idea is to do some shows, or at least one show later this year. I will try to, but it's
We're all
yeah.
holding you to it.
Yeah.
But perhaps maybe some more shows down the road, or you just think it might be the random, because obviously you're so busy, so it's hard to really probably commit to anything significant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I will tour with White Stones because it's, I don't have the time, and the the little time I have free, I need to be home with my kids as well, so it's very it's very hard to kind of combine everything. But definitely I want to make some random shows here and there. That's the idea.
Yeah, budgeting time is always a battle, always a battle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I won't keep you because I know you got other stuff keep going, but of course I have to ask you about sort of do we call it an elephant in the room? We were sort of skirting around Opeth. I need to ask, of course, I know, I respect how it's all treated old school, keeping it all in a vault, not wanting to release too much information. But can we say, is the new album done?
It's still in process.
Still in process? Are your parts done?
Ah,
Are your
sorry?
parts done? Have you recorded all your bass
Oh,
parts?
yes.
So you're
Yeah,
complete.
I'm done. Yeah.
Might we see it before the year is out?
I think you will hear some news pretty soon.
Okay. I don't want to
Yeah.
push you too much because in the meantime, we got White Stones, we got Memoria Viva that we can
Yeah.
digest, appreciate, dive into the back catalog of White Stones if you haven't done so, because it's deep, deep, organic. I love the dry production too. That's what that's kind of the best way I can sort of describe it. Is I find it just has those feels. I don't know. It's
Yeah, I mean, for me, I always love this kind of sound, I think it's more, earthy, raw, when I don't have much distortions on the guitar
no.
as like a usual metal band, And yeah, I mean, it's something I really like, it's more fight when you play with this sound, but I love it.
It was just occurring to me. I think it might be good for chopping wood too.
Yeah.
Just
That'd be great.
let's just go chop wood because it's going to fall before you know it. You need to fill those fireplaces. Throw on a
Yeah,
White record and chop some wood.
the perfect combination. White stones and chocolate, yeah.
We'll leave it at that. Well, I appreciate you, Martin Mendez. I appreciate all that you've done for just throwing back to Scrape over the years and the support too. Always great towards this side of the world. Looking forward to hopefully hearing about a White Stone show maybe before the year is out. And good luck and have fun on your North American tour in the fall. Things are looking good.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for your
Memoria
words
Viva,
and for
White
having me.
Stones. Don't forget about it. Buy it now.
Thank you, man.
Take care.